right, so join me today as we take a little bit of a field trip to answer the question, where does our food come from? So we've arrived at Wilson Farms and Produce, where we'll meet Gretchen York and Dan Wilson, who are a father-daughter farming pair. And you've been here since you were a year old. And so was your parents' farm? Was it your grandparents before that? Or? Yep. And Gretchen is your daughter.
Yes.
And so this is a father-daughter type deal we got going here. Yep. So we're out in Adel, Iowa, and at the Wilson Farms. So what do you grow? Let's go see. Oh my. That's where our tomatoes come from.
It is.
So today, as we're doing this little field trip, we're learning where our food comes from.
So we start all of our plants from seed, so that way then we know the entire process and the stage of them. We start them in Dad's basement in a spare bedroom. Once it's overflowing, we will then bring everything out here to the heated greenhouse. So in the back there are benches where we'll go through and transplant into bigger cells and things like that.
And about what time of the year does this happen?
That was around March 1. I use a heat mat and grow lights in the basement to get everything started. And by the time my basement's overflowing, that's when I say March 1, we come out here
right.
and fire it up and start heating it. And so we transplanted tomatoes into here to get those going. And
So just as I'm looking at how much there is here, is there more than just the two of you? The two of you do this. Wow. Okay. So more tomatoes. Oh, and cucumbers, yes?
Yep. And then this is how we were able to get those early production cucumbers.
Okay.
And just to make note so they're aware, they do grow in soil. They're not a hydroponic.
So when people ask, because we often get this question, how do they get tomatoes so early? Because often they'll ask if they come from Missouri or from different states.
Yep.
And it's because you start them in these greenhouses.
Yep.
So you have in your head that this is like a huge production, but really it's in how many acres do you
There's about 4 acres that we
about
have.
4 acres.
Yep.
And you produce a lot in that amount of acreage, but no tractors or anything. This is all pretty much by hand or small tiller.
Tiller.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or by hand. We're no chemical. We're not a certified organic, but we don't believe in chemicals.
And that's why we've got the hay crop around us.
Okay.
So that way no chemicals are sprayed around us.
Oh. See, those are things that people like myself don't even think about. I mean, we think about the fact we don't want a bunch of chemicals on our food, but we don't think about what it takes to do that. We think about, okay, then you don't put chemicals, but we don't think about the environment and how big it is.
Yep.
Well, that concludes our little field trip of the Wilson Farms and Produce. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, as we got to know Gretchen York and Dan Wilson of Wilson Farms and Produce a little bit better. And if you're ever in the area, come see us. And if not, I hope you learned a lot. Have a great day.